Hello and welcome back. So we have built our website, and before you do anything on your website, like deleting anything, adding anything, start configuring anything, I want to show you something. Okay, I want to show how our page speed is. Okay, so I want to introduce to this concept wherein you gradually check how your speed of your website is. Means you check how fast your website is loading when a user type in your domain name. Okay, so we'll check how fast is our page respond, or what are the things that we need to fix in order to make sure our speed of our website is faster. Okay, so we'll do a speed test. So I'll introduce you the two tools. The first tool is called as GT metrics. Okay, this is a tool that will help you to analyze the site speed, and then we will analyze what are the issues that we have. We're not going to fix it, but I'm just trying to introduce you to these tools and techniques. Okay, whenever we make changes to the website, we always make sure we want to check whether it's hurting our site speed, because you keep adding stuff into your website will keep becoming slow and slow. So you need to know what are those things that you're adding in your website is causing that issue. So it's good that we haven't added anything in our website. This is plain freshly baked from the oven, right? I haven't done any changes to it. This is what HostGator give me as a WordPress fresh installation. So it's a good idea that we capture this first and understand what is our initial site speed. Okay, from there we will try to add things up, delete things up, and then see how our site speed will perform. Okay, the first tool is called GT metrics. The second tool is called as pingdom. I'll give you this link in the reference so you don't have to worry now pausing this video and typing it in the browser. These links will be available for you to verify it in the last. Okay, so let's try to check our site speed. So you have to take the domain name, your website name, and type it in the URL analyzer, and then we'll ask you to analyze. So depending on the server, so you see the test server region is Canada, and it's using a Chrome desktop. So it will fetch the site and it will check many things. It will check, how is the speed of your website, what scripts it has been loading, and all those stuff. One good thing, I got a score A. The page speed is very good, but there's something called why slow score. And if you look at why it is slow, there are so many things here. Okay, I'm not going to too many things because it's too much of information as of now, but as and when we add some things, and if you see an improvement, that's good. But if you see our grade page speed is going down or why slow is going down, then I think we need to find a better way of handling things in our site. Okay, let's analyze. So this is the page speed score A and why slow score C in GT metrics. And one thing I want to show you is how best we perform compared to others, because getting 100% is a lot of work to do. So typically we will be around 80 to 90% page speed compared to other sites. So now we have run in pingdom.com, and you see faster than 98% of the tested site, which is very good. So we are better than 98% that is tested on this site, and our performance grade is 88. We can still improve this, but try to understand the components here. Okay, it's saying it scored 100% in everything, which is a good thing, right? You're seeing that whatever installation given by HostGator to us, and then when we check all those parameters that's been given to us, is all 100%, means it's the best given to us. Maybe there are some issues, we'll try to fix it if possible, or we'll move along. Okay, so these are the two tools I want you to familiarize with, and I want you to use every time before and after. Means before you do something, check what is your performance grade, and after you implement that change, check if it hurts your site speed. Okay, so before we make any changes, so we know our page speed from GTmetrix and also the performance grade from pingdom.com. Okay, so next start doing something. Next we will start changing the WordPress site now. So I'll close this GTmetrix. Maybe I keep it open. We check it once we make some changes. Okay, so let's change this title. Okay, my HostGator blog. Let's change this title. For that, you need to go under settings and general. Okay, so go under settings and general, then we will change this my HostGator blog to make WP website. Okay, so here is the text, is the same text you see here. So once you change this, this will be modified. So let's say make, you see it's changing whenever you're typing it here. So you have a tagline, that's my tagline for the site. Then you leave the address as it is. If you are having an HTTPS and you don't see HTTPS, just make yes here. Because the most important thing is your email address. Make sure this is the right email address that you get communicated, because if there are any emails that is been sent from your site, it will be sent to this email address. Okay, so make sure the email ID is correct. Okay, and then there's a time zone here and you can see which time zone fits you. So whenever there's a communication, then this time zone will be reflected. Okay, so let's save this. You might see it's not been changed. The reason behind this is because our pages are cached and we have a CDN, that is basically the content delivery network, which means our pages are cached at different server levels. Just to make sure the page is displayed faster, so you have a cached files sitting around all the servers. So it will take some time to reflect in the servers. And sometimes you can click on empty cache. So we'll empty the cache. Okay, so that was one way of changing the site title and the tagline. Okay, I'll show you another way. You can go to appearance and go to customize. Just click on it. Then you'll find something called a site identity. Okay, so once you click site identity, it will show you your site title and tagline. If the previous settings did not change your web page, then you come here and change the site title. Maybe you add one more. Maybe you add some content to it and then you publish it. So once you publish, your changes will be reflected. Okay, now let's visit the site. Okay, you can see that's our site title and that is our tagline. Okay, and you can even see at the title bar your title and the tagline is been changed, and also when you log in your admin, in the admin bar you can see your site title will be modified. Okay, so make sure this step is done. Okay, then we'll move along. Okay, so next we will look at how to get the image, your image on your email ID. If you remember, maybe when you log in onto this site, you are not able to see your image, right? You might be seeing a WordPress image here or maybe some other images here. And the reason behind is your email ID is attached to an image, and that is done with something called as Gravatar. Gravatar is nothing but a globally recognized avatar. Okay, so whenever someone want to know your image, your profile image, they can do a query to Gravatar and see what is the image available for your email ID. And most of the sites generally use this site to get your profile image based on the email ID that you have. So once you upload, so what you have to do here is you have to register here, then you have to upload your profile pic here. Once you do that, whenever you log in into WordPress or you go to any site in a WordPress based site, and then when you comment the image and you use the same email ID, the profile image will be fetched from the Gravatar, and when you comment, your image will be shown here. Okay, so what I want you to do is, first you have to register onto this, go sign in, right? And you need to create the account. Okay, you need to create the account first. I have an account, so I will log in into it. Okay, so I have an account, so I'll be using that to log in. If you don't have an account, you can create an account from here. It's very simple. We create an account and then we will upload our profile pic there. So if you see, I have two emails here. I have two emails here. One is on my domain email and one is my personal email, and I have attached one image. So I have uploaded one image and attached to both the emails. So everywhere when I refer to this email ID, it will pick my image. Okay, so if you remember my settings, go general. So here I have given this email ID. Okay, if I would have used some other email ID, then it wouldn't have recognized my image, because I have created a Gravatar, which is a profile for my email ID, and I have uploaded an image here. Okay, that's where it is fetching my image and showing it up here. I'll show you one of the settings that actually says to use your Gravatar. Go to discussions, and there's something called as avatars. It's nothing but Gravatar. Okay, and avatar display, say show avatars. So this is the avatar for my email ID. Okay, and how it is been retrieving, it is using this site called as gravatar.com. So first thing I want you to do is go here. I'll give you this link again, and then create an account with the same email ID that you'll use in your site and upload your profile pic here. And once you do that, automatically, you don't have to do, you just come to discussion here, say show avatars. If it's unchecked, please check it, and automatically all your images, all your profile images will be showing up in everywhere. It will show even when you comment, it will show even when a post is being published. Everything is attached to these images, and when you change the profile pic here, it will automatically reflect all the sites that's been using Gravatar to get your image. Okay, so do this step. I want you to create an account in Gravatar, use the same email ID and upload your profile pic. Okay, so next I want to show you one simple setting I want to do on the WordPress site, that is called as permalinks. Okay, permalinks is very simple. You see the links here after your website host name, you have something called as permalinks. So that's basically your links. Okay, so the links basically tells you how you want to organize it. Do you want to organize based on, you know, the date, year, month and date and the name of the post, or you want to have something called as directly the post? Okay, by default you will get this year, month and post name. I want you to change this. We don't want year to be in our URLs, doesn't look good. I want a category first, followed by a post name. Okay, then it looks nice. So whenever I write a blog about WordPress, I will say category as WordPress, then my blog name, right? How to create a blog, right? So how to create a blog is basically a post name, and then WordPress is basically a category. So it clearly displays from the overall link that what is the purpose of this post. Okay, so I want you to change the permalink here. Go to custom structure. I want to click on first category, then the post name. Okay, and then save changes. Let me show you where the plugins. If you on the dashboard, you can find something called as plugins with like a plug symbol. Go to installed plugins. It will show you all the plugins that has been installed on this software. Okay, this is the list. So we will delete all these things I'll show you how to delete, then we're going to add something. Okay, that we'll do in the next video. So in this topic we're going to delete the plugins. So first, if you're in the dashboard, the home page, I want you to go to the plugins and installed plugins. It will show you all the plugins that is installed on your WordPress site. So we're going to delete. We don't need Mojo Marketplace. So how do you delete it? Okay, you have to deactivate first. Okay, and then once you deactivate it, you get an option to delete it, and you can safely delete it. So these are the default plugins that you're gonna get, right? So we're gonna just go ahead and delete it. You're gonna delete the Jetpack, and one of the reason people might argue why you want to delete Jetpack, and there are so many cool features with the Jetpack. The one reason I don't prefer Jetpack, because it basically slow down your site, and it adds so many things in your website that, you know, sometimes I am not using so many features, but my website, when it loads all the features of the Jetpack. So I want my site to be simple and load only what is required. So I will just compromise on some of the features that Jetpack give me, but I have an alternative to how do I use all those features. Okay, so let's deactivate it. That's my preference, but if you want Jetpack, you can use it, but you will experience that there are so many things being installed on your website. When you see the source code, many of them is from the Jetpack. Let's delete it. I don't want HostGator WalkMe plugin. Deactivate it. Delete. Then we have Google Analytics dashboard. This is not from Google, okay? So don't get confused with the name. I'll show you a simple way how you can enable Google Analytics on your site, and that specific step you can use it for all your website. We're going to do that in a separate topic. I'm going to show you how to register for Google Analytics and how do you configure Google Analytics with your website, and it's going to be very, very simple steps. You don't need a plugin for it. Okay, so let's deactivate it and delete it. Okay, and I don't need WP Super Cache. I do need a caching, but I'll use a different plugin. So as of now, I'll delete this. Okay, so I'll leave the HTTP purge. The purge is basically to the entire cache, to delete all the cache pages. Okay, because we are using CDN in the background, and HostGator will keep saving all our file in the cache. So I want you to use this plugin whenever your site changes is not being reflected. You make a change and then you go to browser, you don't see a change. One thing I want you to use this plugin for is to keep emptying your cache. Okay, and then once you make that, then your new pages get loaded. So we'll work with these two plugins. Okay, and before we do that, what do you think we should do now? We have deleted all our plugins, right? What we should do next? Can you guess? Well, I want you to check the site speed, right? You remember we have learned how to check our site speed. So we have deleted offloaded so much of stuff from our website. Let's verify our site speed. So one is GT metrics, the other one is pingdom. So let's check GT metrics. So there's some waiting time here. Let's go to pingdom. So you see, you have a problem here, right? You have very accept encoding. We'll fix this. We have deleted this WP super cache. We're going to add that. Then you're going to get this back. Okay, maybe it degraded the performance from the previous one just because we have deleted all the stuff. Maybe the good ones also has been deleted, but we'll keep adding it. In the next section we will add all the required plugins that will help us to boost our site performance, and also it will help us give us some good benefits when we use the WordPress site. Next step is basically we will install the plugins, then we'll again verify our site performance, then I'll show you how to configure each plugin. Okay, so let's follow along. So this is my list of all the plugins that we're going to install. We have Akismet already here, which will block all the spam comments, which is already here. We have to activate it, and then we will see how to configure this. Then we'll install Yoast SEO. This basically manages the SEO for our post. Then we'll install login spam, just to make sure we don't get spam to our login page. Okay, and then we'll install WP Forms Lite. This basically for our contact page. Okay, and then it's a form that we can add it on the contact page, just a simple form. Okay, for the cache we will use these two plugins. Okay, let's do one by one. So first install Yoast SEO. So I'm going to show you how to install it. Okay, so first step is you go on to the plugin, install plugin, or you can click on add new, or there's an add new button here. Just click on add new. You can go search the plugin, or you can see the popular ones. You can search the plugin by entering the plugin name here, or you can see the featured or the popular one. Let's see the popular one first. You have the Yoast SEO, that's the second popular plugin. Let's install that. Let's activate it. Okay, so that's been done. Next is simple Google reCAPTCHA. So this one we will click the button add new and search for it. I have the name, the author name, because if you type with this name you will find so many names, similar names. So make sure you have matched the author, verified the author, and then install the right plugin. I like this plugin because it is simple, straightforward. It doesn't do anything that we don't want to do. Means any additional features, there's nothing there. It just do one job just by adding that reCAPTCHA on our login page. Okay, I'm gonna show you how to get these details and update in the plugin later. So let's keep adding our plugins. You can go add new, or you can go add new here. Next, add WP Forms Lite. Is this one from WP Forms. Click on activate. Okay, go back. So it will go to the form. Don't do anything now. Just go to your plugin, add new, auto optimize. Then this author name is footer. Just install this. Then we have W3 total cache. There is a cache plugin. Go to add new. W3 total cache. Well, that cache plugin actually was in the popular tab. I want to show you that. So we installed Yoast SEO, Akismet, we deleted this and installed W3 total cache. Okay, and then we installed contact form. These are all the popular ones, right? Then there's one backup, WordPress backup plugin. I want to install that so that our site get backed up. We are not going to use this. You can use it if you want to get the backup on the Dropbox. You remember when we purchase this plan, we get the backup, the code guard for free. Means our site get backed up automatically. So we don't have to use this plugin. But if you go ahead and read all the blogs out there, they'll tell you to install it so that you have a regular backup to your websites. We don't need that because the code guard comes free with our WordPress hosting and it automatically backs up our site. So we don't need this plugin. Google Analytics, you don't have to install all this Google Analytics. I'll show you a very simple way to capture all the traffic coming to our site on Google Analytics. Okay, so let's verify our installed plugin now. Okay, I believe that's enough. In the next section, we will configure most of it. Like we'll configure Google reCAPTCHA, we'll configure Akismet, and we'll configure WP forms, and then we'll also configure Google Analytics. Okay. Okay, so let's verify our site now. Okay, so we go back, we analyze it again. You see, this is what I was talking about. Our voice low has been increased, means we have 88% now. Earlier it was C grade, now it is B grade. And you see, whatever HostGator gave us, right, we deleted all those stuff. We have added the best stuff there, and you see our performance has been increased. Okay, this is the knowledge that you have to acquire. What is the best thing that is required for your website? And this tool is really important, and you should use it every time. Every time you make a change, every time you install a plugin, every time you delete a plugin, you need to understand whether it is affecting your page speed, because page speed will determine your page ranking as well. So make sure you don't sleep on it and you don't forget about it. Okay, so let's try out the pingdom. So earlier it was 85% B grade. Let's try again. Let's try it from New York. You see, we went from B grade to A grade, and this is the exact thing I want you to implement. Even though we are sleeping on some stuff, but our grade performance has been increased. As we go along, I'm going to show you some more techniques, right? And once you implement techniques, we will slightly increase this, because going to 100% is you have to customize a lot of things, and you have to really understand that some things you have to give away, and there will be a choice wherein you cannot give away, then you have to live with it, right? So as of now, we have increased our performance grade. We have improved from what we got from HostGator with the new plugins that we have installed. Okay, so that's a good news. We are in a A grade on Pingdom, and we are also in A grade on the GT metrics. So our site is awesome, very nice. It is much better than 92% of other site tested. So one key thing I want you to explain here, because we have just finished the activity of installing the plugin. Plugin basically are very important, because plugin will give you a lot of add-ons, so you don't have to write anything, which is a good feature and is actually a very, very bad feature. The more plugins you install, the more complex your site will become, the more and more slower it will become. If you observe over a period of time that you're writing blogs, you're installing plugins, deleting plugins, you will feel that your site is becoming slower and slower every day. The reason is not because you're adding so much of data into it, like writing the content, because content is not something which slow down your site. Unless you add a very big image onto your content on the specific blog, and that specific blog may be slow, but not the entire site. The page will become slow, even the dashboard becomes slow, even the changes on your site will become slow when you have a lot of plugins. Okay, that is a secret that I have learned in a very hard way. That's why I have come up with this list, which I use it for all my sites, and you see the performance is much better than what HostGator will give you. They have done their research and I have done my research, and based on my research I believe these are the plugins that will improve your performance better. Okay, so make sure you don't install any plugin that unless it is absolutely important and it doesn't affect your page speed. If it is affecting your page speed, I will definitely remove that plugin out. Okay, and I'll find another way to implement that feature. Okay, so next let's quickly configure all those plugins that we have just installed, and then we'll wrap up the session.